the Slip Slip Knit podcast, a podcast about knitting. Hope you enjoy. It's only been 1 week since my last recording, but next week my father will be here and we are going up to Niagara Falls and Toronto for a long weekend. We are leaving already on Wednesday evening, and earlier that Wednesday I'll probably hang out with my father since he is here visiting. Checking out DC before I move away. I will do a quick update this week instead. As you can see, this is a little bit of a different setting. I'm not sitting in my orange armchair, but we'll try this out. Over here you can see my umbrella, but yeah, live with it. I know I have not finished any objects since last week, but I have a couple of works in progress to share with you. One of them is new, and the other one is, let's say, slightly bigger than last week. So let's get started. First, I have my Brioche shawl, and I relaced what it's called in Swedish, patenstickning, which doesn't really matter for you, but since it's a completely different word, I like to keep my knitting vocabulary in Swedish and English fairly similar. Since I started to learn how to knit in English, I was super hard for me to knit in Swedish, even if it's my native. It's kind of stupid, especially if you want to talk to someone about knitting and you speak in Swedish, and especially if that is my grandma, because she doesn't know that much English. So yeah, trying to keep up with my Swedish knitting vocabulary. And this is Brioche. Here is my shawl. Okay, it's just a beard, courtesy of Pin Feathers and Pearls. Well, it's slightly bigger than last week, where it was just a swatch. And now I have this. I've done a couple of repeats of the pattern, like 3 or something, and I really like how it's coming out. It's mushy, it's thick, but it's not stiff, so it's really nice. I also promised to share with you what yarns I'm using. Better remember which one is which now, right? Because I have the two labels here. Okay, so the light one, it's called Lullaby. It's from Wild Hair Fiber Studios, and it's a 75 superwash merino 25 nylon, and it's 460 yards per 100 grams. It's called Pinnacle Fingering. It's a light fingering weight, or fingering weight on the lighter side. No, not let's just say not heavy fingering weight. It's a ply, which, why I'm mentioning this is because the pink yarn, it's a single, and it's from Neighborhood Fiber Company, and it's called Rustic Fingering, and it's 100% superwash merino, 475 yards per 4 ounce. It's roughly the same, maybe it's slightly thicker, the pink one. Also because it's a single, it's a little bit, it's a little bit uneven. I know, I think if you look, maybe as most of you know, the single and a ply looks quite different. I don't think it's a problem when mixing them in this project, and I think it's quite nice that the pink only merino yarn is a little bit fluffier. So I think it goes really well, but that's something you should be aware of when you're substituting yarn and when you are choosing yarns to combine. What I can say here is that it's quite loose. I'm not sure if I'm actually having the same gauge now as I had with the swatch. Maybe it's a little bit looser, especially here when I'm doing like increases. It creates a little bit of a hole. I don't think it's a huge problem. Let's see. The rows here are much more sparse than this part. So where I do increases, I think it looks good still. But it's super fun to knit onto. I thought it would be hard to do the brioche, but actually it's so so you knit every color twice. So first with front side light color in my case light color, front side light color in my case, and then front side darker color, and then back side light color, back side darker color. And then the back side is the front side for the dark color. So that's why it's like this. This is the front side for the dark color, and this is the front side for my lighter color, main color. And this will be my front side. But of course you can also wear it this way around. I just think this is a little bit too pink for me. Oh yeah, so the stuff that's happening, increases and decreases, are happening on the front side light color. So the main color, main side. And then the other 3 rows are just regular brioche stitch, so that's very convenient and it makes it much easier. And I can also make myself say, hey, if you go do this, you can then knit 4 rows. That's a very good set. And then I do 1 complicated rows and then the other 4 easy rows. And I have the pattern. Oh, I haven't said what the pattern is. It's a Sizzle pop shawl. But I probably put it in already earlier here so you can read. Well, that's because I usually put that in. I hope so it will be easier for you to follow, because I'm sometimes a little bit confused and forget to tell you what pattern I'm using. There is a chart, both charted and written instructions. At first I was like, oh my god, there are so many new things and abbreviations and stuff, I can't take it. And I looked at the written out instructions, but it's really hard to read your knitting when you're reading written out instructions, and they are just, I got confused between the rows, and was it this and this stitch or this and this, so I just had to get used to using the charted instructions also for Brioche, and now it's working totally fine. So that's good. I'm looking forward to have this finished, but it will be it's not really a take-a-long project, maybe for flights where I can actually bring but not for shorter trips, so we'll see. My second working project is something that was only a skein of yarn last week. It's not huge yet, but this is the beginning of a sleeve for a cardigan. The yarn here, it's Purl Soho linen quill. It's a 50% island wool, 35% alpaca and 15% linen. And it's also it's a fingering weight, 439 yards per 100 grams. It's a little bit more dense than the other yarns I had here, because it's quite thin. Yeah, it's quite thin. Also ply. I like this little bit linen in, and I hope this will be a light and nice sweater. Last week I said cardigan all the way around. Maybe because I in Swedish tend to say cardigan, the word that is probably meaning cardigan for like all thicker like knitted garments. Just to say sweater, thick sweater. So it's a bad habit because it's wrong. This will be a nice sweater, a shirt. And I am making I've made one sleeve like this before, but I unraveled it because the gauge was too loose, is the word, loose. I then went down 1 needle size, and I am trying out this lace pattern here. So what I've done is that I've done a super short twisted rib, because I wanted a rib, but I wanted an elegant feeling to it. So the pattern I'm using is a light raglan sweater or something like that. It's a free pattern from Purl Soho, but it has no decoration. It's very simple. I've seen on several patterns, for example, Locatelli's Japan sleeves with this beautiful lace panel all over the arm. And I said, I want that. But then I wasn't excited about Locatelli's construction of her sweater, and then I found other ones, but they were in a thicker yarn. I found a lace pattern online that I wanted to use, that I like. So I think this will be the beginning of a sleeve. This was actually meant to be a second test run, but it's working out. And when I put another needle here so that I can try it on, it feels quite nice over my wrist. I don't want this sweater to be super tight, because I just cast it on the smallest size or something for the cuff, but then with the lace I assume it will be bigger. I guess I just improvise where to do increases to make it fit over my upper arms. As soon as I know this is the right gauge for the sleeves, maybe I also cast on the body. I just have to decide if I want to have this much of ribbing or more ribbing on the bottom of the body. In this pattern they suggest to make another kind of edge, and I made that kind of edge first on my first test sleeve. And this was, I think the stitch is called cording stitch. They have a description in the pattern, and you can find the link below as usual. It's almost like you knit just regular stockinette stitch, and then you fold it, so there will be a little bit of an edge like this. Yeah, you can see pictures and instructions in the pattern if you're curious about exactly what it was. It looks neat in one way, but it's probably not what I was going for. Especially with the lace, it looks a little bit too much. Like 5 rows twisted rib instead. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I have another project. It's a hat, and it's my bring along hat. Because both those projects are a little bit hard to bring. And I went to my first baseball game ever. I actually think it's my first professional sports game that I'm going to ever. Just like this week. So I cast it on a new hat. You can see here what the pattern is called. I don't remember. It's a very simple lace pattern that I can remember by heart. I don't even have it printed. I have some leftover yarns. I first want to get rid of the last of my dark grey wool of Andes sports weight, and then I had another sports weight, not wool of Andes, something I got. I think it's a 100% wool, but I got it from someone who was cleaning out their stash and I lost the band. So I'm knitting on here on this one. And I just casted it on and then I knitted on the game, and then I will probably bring it to knit in the car on my way up to Canada. And yeah, first Niagara Falls and then to Canada. This will be a beret. Yeah, so bring along beret. That was everything I had to show you today. Next week I am going up to Niagara Falls and to Toronto, and then the week after that, on Wednesday actually too, I'll be flying to Tokyo to visit Tokyo and Sendai in Japan, and I'll see, maybe I have the time to maybe check in, and then when we come home from Tokyo, I will be having 2 days to unpack, do laundry, and then I'll fly to Sweden. So my August is very busy with lots and lots of fun stuff, but you can see it here. Yeah, you can see the boxes here. The boxes I have packed to send my stuff to Sweden. Things that I cannot put in my bag, even though I can check in 2 bags because I'm flying Iceland Air. They don't serve food, but you can check in 2 bags. I hope it's worth it. I will make it worth it. I will pack 23 kilos, 50 pounds in each bag. And then I will bring cold Pizza Hut pizza. Not because we don't have Pizza Hut pizza, but I really like leftover pizza. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Then I don't have to eat the sad flight food. Anyway, I don't think you should expect any more episodes before September. And in September I'll be recording and sending from Sweden. Hopefully I can make it work. But as I said, it's busy now, and then I start my new job and I have to get my apartment in order. But I think I can squeeze in some podcasting, right? And then I can show you if I found any yarn on my trips, and also if I have made any progress on any of my projects. Till then, thank you for watching. Take care, happy knitting, and have a really, really nice rest of your summer, because that's what I'm going to have. Bye!